you're not an entrepreneur and you don't have leverage, I mean, even self-employed is not full entrepreneurship where you have multiple people contributing towards, time freedom in your income. And if you're not a full-blown entrepreneur, then you're right, it is impossible. It is impossible to have time and financial freedom unless you're an entrepreneur. So I get their perspective, right? Because they had been working for someone else for so long, that's not possible, that's not possible. Well, they're right, it's not. Except I wasn't doing what they were doing. So it was possible. But here's the key word. I've said it about 10 times. It starts with a P. What is the key word? Possible. I didn't say it was guaranteed if you became an entrepreneur. I simply said it was possible. That's it. And for a lot of people, that's all they need is just a glimmer of possibility. Right? Just give me a little bit of a possibility. And for other people, they're not willing to risk taking action on something without a guarantee, so they'll stay in their bubble, and they'll stay with the ceiling, they'll stay within the walls, because they're guaranteed that if they, go show up somewhere, push some paper around, and push some buttons, and staple some stuff, that they'll make $3 grand a month. And there's other people in the room that they know that they go show up somewhere and manage a few people that push some paper around, push some buttons, staple some papers, that they'll make $6 grand a month to manage the 5 people that make $3 grand a month, right? And this is just their world. This is what they understand. And they know that they're guaranteed to get a week or 2 vacation, like they're guaranteed that, and they know like they can have their dental paid for or their health paid for, and that's they want that guarantee, right? And then there's some people like, I'll just pay the $500 for dental and medical. I'd rather make 50 grand a month with time freedom, right? I mean, my dad is the most in-the-box human being that you could ever imagine. And his, brain could not get around the fact that I didn't have medical and dental insurance paid for by a company. I'm like, Dad, I'm rich. I'll pay for the medical and the dental insurance, right? I mean, it's $500. Don't worry about it. I got that one covered. He couldn't wrap his brain around it because he had done the same thing for so long with this guarantee and this structure that the possibility thing didn't make sense to his brain. So, bottom line, guys, is what we're talking about tonight from a financial perspective is a possibility. And it's not a guarantee, but it is a possibility. Now, from there, my story kind of rounds into how we created the company. I went on to earn my first $1 million in this industry at age 25, and then at age 26, my business partners and I created ViSalus. And this, for me, was my utopia, because one of the things I'm extremely passionate about is creating successful entrepreneurs. And whether that is successful as defined by them. Successful for you might mean I want to make an extra $1,000 a month as an entrepreneur. It might mean I want to make $100,000 a year. It might mean I want to make $1 million a year. But my passion is creating successful entrepreneurs because there's no education program for it, right? But my second passion has always been health and fitness. And ever since I was a kid, I played every sport. Ever since I was a teenager, I'd worked out, eaten right, and supplemented. So it wasn't new to me to say, oh, we're going to start a company that has supplements? Well, maybe I should do this for the first time. I had done that since I was 13 years old. It was a way of life. So the ability to merge 2 passions together was my absolute utopia. So we built ViSalus, and it took us a while to put everything in place. You got to put the marketing in place, the products in place, the management team in place, the compensation plans in place, the leadership in place, and it took a few years. It took a few years to get it right. 3.5 years ago, we got it right. We got it really right. 3.5 years ago, we launched the Body by Body 90-Day Challenge. Since then, we have become the #1 90-day weight loss challenge on the planet, which is a really cool thing. We've, in just the last 3 years, we've become the 2nd largest just weight loss company, period, challenge or not, in North America, with #3 and #4 being companies you've heard of. Raise your hand if you've heard of Jenny Craig and Nutrisystems, right? So everybody's heard of these companies. Give you guys a reference point. These companies are great companies. They help people. They help people lose weight. But to give you a reference point, and last year they did about $430 million in sales each. Last year we did about $630 million in sales. We're 50% larger than Nutrisystems and Jenny Craig, and we've been doing it for 3 years. Jenny Craig's been doing it for 30 years, right? So when you think of what we've done in such a short period of time, and the only weight loss company now that's bigger than us in North America is Weight Watchers. And they know we're coming, like big time. They know we're coming. And when I say they know we're coming, I mean, like, if you will drink our shakes, Sal shakes on their system, they'll give you points on their system if you'll take our shakes. So that's when you know, like, we're coming, right? It's just like, and I think about this kind of stuff, you know, because as a founder, I'm in a lot of strategy meetings. I'm like, how did that strategy meeting go down? Right? So I think of like this conference room, and it's got all the executives of Weight Watchers, and they're going, what the hell do we do with these guys? And it's like, 3 years, 630 million, they're already the second biggest weight loss. What do we do about these guys? And somebody's like, I know. Let's give people points on our system if they drink their shake. And I was like, that's brilliant. Yes, let's do it. So, you know, I mean, how else does that happen, right? So, in any case, you know, we're excited to create the results that we create, and you know, just kind of wrapping up the data piece of, you know, what we've done from a data perspective. You're talking about 2+ million in 3 years. 2+ million people who have lost tens of millions of pounds, who've drank 600 million shakes, and have created $1 billion in total sales. So it's a little bit bigger than your cousin's doing this weird thing and it may or may not work, right? You know what? You know that my coworker, he's kind of crazy anyways. He's talking to me about this thing, about some shakes or something. I don't know if these shakes are going to work. Let me start over. 2 to 3 million people who've lost tens of millions of pounds, drinking 600 million, not 6, like, we don't have like, hey, we're up to 6 shakes sold, right? 600 million times the shake has been consumed. I'm pretty sure we know that it's going to work. I'm pretty sure we know that it's okay. I'm pretty sure we know that you're going to get a result. And I'm so pretty sure of that we're the only company that will give you a 90-day money-back guarantee if you use our stuff. We're the only company that will do that. Because we're dead positive. We're sure. Now guess what? We launched the 90-day money-back guarantee in January 1st. So 90 days would lead us to what day? April 1st. So one of the things we were curious about was how many people were going to use it for 90 days and then ask for their money back. How many people were going to execute the guarantee? You guys want to guess how many? Any guesses? I hear 0, 4,
17.
One person executed the 90-day money-back guarantee. The other hundreds of thousands that started in January, February, March said, hey, this seems to work if we use it. Therefore, there is no guarantee to exercise because I've used it and it worked. The only time it doesn't work is when you don't use it. So I'm pretty sure that the one person, they got to be like that ultra negative family member that we all have, right? It's that same one. They're like, I am going to dump it in my garden for 3 straight months just so I can get my money back and tell my relative, I told you it wouldn't work. Look, I gained weight, right? So that's at least the theory I'm sticking with. So it's but I want you guys to get, like, this is real. I mean, this is real. Yes, we're in a bowling alley with many beer signs all around us. But if you take this stuff, you're going to get a result. And you're going to lose weight. That's the bottom line. So I'm not worried about that. But let me tell you guys, I guess, my key message for tonight. It's not just giving you guys some data and saying, yes, we're real, that's why I'm here. It's more telling you guys what we stand for. Because one of the things I want everyone to understand is when you're using, or when you're joining our challenge, it's more than just, hey, I'm drinking this company's shakes, right? We do not have a goal of being the #1 weight loss company in the world, though I think it's going to happen. We do not have a goal of being the company that sells the most weight loss stuff to people. That's not actually when we sit in our management meetings and in our creative sessions, we're not sitting there going, how can we sell more stuff to people that need to lose weight? It's never in our conversations. Here's the #1 goal for us as a company. We want to be the #1 company in the history of the planet to fight the epidemic of obesity. That's our mission as a company. I can't tell you that I've heard that from any other weight loss company. I can't tell you that I've heard any other weight loss company say, let's end obesity. I don't know if I've ever heard them say that, right? But, I know they want to sell a bunch of stuff to some folks that need to lose weight, and they want to sell them the weight loss stuff, and that's great. And I hope the folks that use it, I hope they lose weight, and I hope they get a result. But for us, it's much bigger than that. We're looking at the largest global problem on the planet, the fastest growing epidemic in the world today, which is the obesity epidemic. It's not going away, and it's not a joke anymore. It's serious, serious stuff. The #1 cause of all degenerative diseases. So think about this. A degenerative disease is something that breaks down your body. So another way to say this, the #1 cause of death, the #1 thing that causes the causes, the #1 thing that causes the causes, heart disease, diabetes, a heart attack, like all of these things we line up, you know what they all have in common? The #1 cause of all of them is obesity. The #1 cause of all the top causes of death. Like nobody's like, I died of obesity today. Like I died of a heart attack. I died of diabetes. I died of fill in the blank. The #1 cause of all of them, obesity. And if we want to fix, what's happening from a health perspective, you have to focus on the root problem. The root problem is the obesity epidemic, to the point where 2/3 of the world now is classified as overweight. Here's the most meaningful thing I believe that I can say to you guys tonight. It may or may not resonate with you, but if you take home nothing, please take home this. For the first time ever, since humanity was created, for the first time ever in humanity, there are more people classified as overweight than there are malnutrition. So for the first time ever, there are people eating too much than there are having enough to eat. You got to sit there and go, that's a pretty big thing. The first time, human beings have been around for a little while, so I'm told, right? So for the first time ever, we just crossed the threshold of people having too much to eat as opposed to not enough. That's a really big issue. That's something that needs to be addressed. And we're addressing it. We're addressing it head on. And when I think about this, it's a 100-year-old problem. Okay, so when you think about how long human beings have been around, obesity has only existed for 100 years or less. It's less than 100 years. But it started approximately 100 years ago. So these tens of thousands of years of not having an issue, it's now all changed in a few decades. Why? Well, what did the grand majority of the world do for a living 100 years ago? Well, what did they do for work? Farmed. They farmed. That's what they did for a living, which means they grew their own food, first and foremost. They had their own gardens and their own food. It was fresh and it was clean. You get the idea. But the second thing is, every single day was physical labor. Did you know, I saw this on Jeopardy. Did you know, which means it has to be true. Did you know that at the end of a work day for two farmers 100 years ago, the first farmer did not call up the second farmer and ask him to go to the gym? Did you know that? Did you know the first farmer was like, bro, is it leg day today or back day today? Because as a farmer, every day is leg day, and every day is what? Back day. So now, fast forward from, 100 years ago to 50 years ago. 50 years ago, it's actually 60 years ago now. 60 years ago, scratch that. 100 years ago, this thing called corporate America started to pop up. And what happened is, everyone in the population who used to hunt their food, right? It's like, hey, do you want to run the elliptical or move on, do the thing in the elliptical? No, I got to go walk 7 miles to find a moose to feed us this winter, right? Like that's the thought pattern there, right? So 100 years ago, corporate America pops up, and it moves 90%, 85% of the population out of manual labor careers into sedentary lifestyle careers. Sit at this desk, stand in this place, sit in this seat and steer. Push these buttons all day, right? I'm not suggesting that's a bad thing. I'm just suggesting we got to figure out, I want you guys to get an understanding where this problem came from. How many of you guys today do not? How many of you guys today do not have a manual labor career? You do not work in manual labor. Please raise your hand high and everyone look around. And I know some of you guys are lying as I look at some of you. Right? So 90% of the room says we do not have a manual labor career, which means you must find a way to exercise every single day to be like the folks of 100 years ago and longer. See where the problem is? I'll show you the second part of the problem. Second part of the problem. Right around 50 years ago, World War II, so 60 years ago, women went to the workforce by the millions, and they've never slowed down since. So this means mom and dad are both gone all the time. So who's preparing really fresh, healthy meals for the kids, for the family, for the... Nobody. When I say nobody, I know there's some people in here that probably have a garden. But the great majority of people, they don't have a garden anymore. They can't even prepare meals, let alone go shop. They don't do it anymore. Because they're too what? Starts with a B. Busy. Raise your hand if you're really, 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 really busy. You notice that that's the only question that everyone agrees on. We are busy, right? I mean, I can find a person who has no job that lives on their parents' couch and plays, Nintendo all day long, and they're busy. Right? I'm so busy, I don't have time. I have no time for anything. So everybody gets really busy. Now, wouldn't you guess that at the same point that both mom and dad were out of the household 60 years ago, this other thing popped up to solve the problem for your food for this busy lifestyle. And it's called what type of food?
Fast food.
Same time. So people now said, oh, I got the solution. We don't have time for a garden, we don't have time for this, we don't have time for that, but we can now go get food that is now what? Fast. And it's, how's the cost? It's what? Cheap. It's inexpensive and it's fast. It's inexpensive and it's fast. That's the solution. So now here's today's lifestyle. You wake up, the only thing on your mind, I have to get the kids to school on time. That's like the number one thing on the checklist. Number two thing on the checklist, I then have to get myself to work on time. Nowhere on the checklist is, and I have to make sure that they have a healthy, balanced breakfast, or that I do as well. It's not even on the list. So what happens is, we wake up, we rush around, we get the kids dressed, and we do the fastest thing we can find. Here kid, here's a bowl of Trix, or Cocoa Puffs, or Fruity Pebbles, or here's a Pop-Tart, or here's a toaster strudel, right? So it's like, get up to them as fast as you can, run out the door, drive them, drop them off at school, you drive up to work, you pull up, you look to the left, you see a Starbucks, you run into Starbucks, and you order a triple latte frappuccino thing with cream on top and sprinkles, and you know that's not a healthy breakfast because you're an adult, so you know that's not breakfast. So what you do is you look inside the glass case, because you know anytime there's a glass case, it's got to be a healthy breakfast. So you scan the left, scan to the right, and you go, I want to have the muffin, the chocolate muffin. That will be my breakfast because I can't have the triple latte frappuccino lattuccini thing because that's not a healthy breakfast, but the chocolate muffin, that has got something in it that I'm sure I'm supposed to have, like chocolate. Do you guys know what another word for muffin is?
Cupcake.
Cake. It's cake. So for breakfast, you had a triple latte frappuccino with cream on top and cake. That was your breakfast. So then you went upstairs, you worked, and you got to your lunch break, which is an hour long, but it's never an hour long because you're always working too much or have one more phone call, one more email, one more piece of paper. So now you got 45 minutes left. You go down the elevator, you come out, I eat something fast, pizza by the slice, you run across the street, grab a couple slices, grab some breadsticks, and of course, the Diet Coke. Hey, newsflash. If you're going to have 2 pieces of pizza and breadsticks, just push your chips all the way in and just get the Coke. This is like, I mean, what? You're like going to keep one chip out and go diet, right? You run upstairs, you sit at your desk, eat the pizza, eat the breadstick, down the Coke. 2 hours later, you're starving because you still haven't had anything nutritious. You run down the hall to the always organic, whole food, healthy vending machine. You get a bag of Doritos and a Nutter Butter. You're back to the desk, pound those. done with work, thank goodness, now you can relax because work is over, right? Wrong. You need to get home, get the kids dressed, get them in the practice, get them in the uniforms, get them their equipment, throw them in the back of the minivan because they got to get to the game. So you're hauling butt. You're like 90 through the residential. You're on 2 wheels. Hop the curb. Right? Hop the curb right to the fast food place, through the drive-through, 2 bags of drive-through, over the shoulder, hit the kids in the head, and you're off again driving, right? Now you got, this is how you look. You got a Coke in one hand like this. You're driving with a knee, and you got a French fry arm over the back like this, trying to get the French fries out the back. Raise your hand if you know exactly what I'm talking about, right? Yes. You can't make this up, right? This is... Now, examine what you had to eat today. Triple latte frappuccino thing with cream on top, chocolate cake, 2 slices of pizza, breadstick, another Coke, nutter butter, Doritos, French fry arm with another Coke, and now it's time for dinner. That's what you had today. And we can't figure out where the problem came from? Like, it's pretty obvious where the problem came from. So, here's what we are. We're a company that provides a fun, entertaining, easy, simple, cost-effective way to fight the obesity epidemic. See, it's a really complicated problem. We provide a really simple solution. All I need you to do is set a goal, select a kit, enter to win. That's it. That's all I need you to do. But you got to do that first step, which is set a goal. Now, how many of you guys are honest enough to admit that there's something having to do with your health, your fitness, or your body that you can set a goal around over the next 90 days, right? Most people can raise their hand to that, and those of you guys that don't have a goal, I would suggest that your rotator cuff is probably the thing you need to work on over the next 90 days, right? Or maybe your ego. We got to get your arm around that. Because everybody has something they can work on. You know, and it's like, a lot of times people will say, oh, well, that guy's really fit. He doesn't have a goal. No, he's fit because he's always had a goal. Like, the fit people always have goals. That's why they're fit, right? So, set a goal and then select a kit. Now, here's the key. The kit has got to match the goal. You can't be like, I need to lose 60 pounds, so I'm going to get a balance kit. That doesn't even make any sense, right? I mean, the balance kit's nice. It's a great thing for somebody that, they never eat breakfast and, this is a good breakfast in their life. But you're not going to lose 60 pounds because you had a balance kit. The balance kit should be called, hey, this is I'm going to buy this kit so my friend will stop calling me kid. That's what the kit should be called. But if you're trying to lose weight, and you're trying to lose weight fast, you should get the transformation kit, right? Now, why? Because it's more expensive? No, because it's designed to lose weight fast. It has 2 shakes a day, it has a fat burner, it has a hunger control, it has essential oils to bind fat and burn it so you'll burn it faster, and it has herb-based energy drinks so you don't have to, drink, the Mountain Dew or the Pepsi or the whatever. So it's all designed to lose weight fast, right? That's what the transformation gets fast. But everyone's always all hung up on price and hung up on price. Let me give you some pricing analysis. Anyone ever been to the dollar menu before? Any dollar menu, right? Everyone's been to the dollar menu once. The shape kit is like going to the dollar menu and getting 1.5 items. I, in my life, have never seen somebody get 1 to 2 items off the dollar menu. That's like the biggest marketing ploy in the history of marketing ploys. We're going to price them at 99 cents, but they're going to buy how many of them? 5. 5 of them. They're going to be like, oh, it's only $1 times 5, right? But let's say you have the discipline to only get 1.5 items. That's a shape kit. That's a shape kit. You get 1.5 items off the dollar menu twice a day. That's a shape kit. But what's more realistic? What do people really get when they go to the drive? They get the extra value meal, right? How much are those costing these days? Minimum of 5, but now they're really what? 6, 6.5. And if you go to like a nice fast food place, might be 7, like a Quiznos, I don't know, like a 7, right? So $5, $6, $7 per meal. Well, all a transformation kit is $4 per meal, twice a day. It's cheaper than your extra value meal. It's cheaper than the 5 items off the 99-cent menu. But people be like, oh, well, I can't afford a transformation kit. Did you stop eating? Because you were spending $5 a day, or $5 a meal per person on your extra value meal. So I'm not buying it, right? I don't believe it. What I want to know is, you got 60 pounds to lose? You want to lose it fast? Great. Get on a transformation kit. Now, another thing about the select a kit thing. You got to select a kid that matches your goal, and this is the crazy one. You actually have to take it. You do have to take it. I know that's wild, but it doesn't work through osmosis. You can't like sleep with a shake bag underneath your pillow. Now, I mean, I've heard some crazy stuff, man. I asked people like, well, my bag had 9 extra shakes in it. I'm like, I know it did. The 9 times you skipped taking it, 9 extra ones appeared. I mean, that's crazy. That's wild how that works, right? So you got to take it as well. And the third thing is you have to enter to what? Win. Set a what? Goal. Select a what? Yes. Enter to what? Win. Well, I never win anything. Who cares? Enter anyways. Shoot your I Lost It video so that you can get an I Lost It t-shirt for losing your first 10 pounds, right? It's not about the t-shirt. Everybody can go buy a t-shirt. It's about earning something that you cannot buy. It's about earning something, we'll get there. It's about earning something that you cannot buy, right? So go earn one, right? Earn one. But number 2 is I want you to have a shot to win $1,000. I love the fact that there's $2,000 Project 10 winners. Tonight, we're going to give away 10 grand. What time is it right now? 10 to 9. In 10 minutes, we're going to give away $10,000 to 5 ladies and 5 guys that lost 10 pounds, right? And next Monday we're going to do it, and next Monday we're going to do it. So it might as well be you getting a shot at that. But here's the third one. It wasn't in the video. It's called Project 10 Kids. We just launched this. Now, here's what Project 10 Kids is. If you will lose 10 pounds, and you will document it, for every time an adult loses 10 pounds, BioSalus is partnered with hospitals, nonprofits, and charities that work exclusively on the topic of childhood obesity and work with the children. For every time an adult will lose 10 pounds, we will donate shake to these nonprofits that will then give it to kids for free so we can help them fight childhood obesity. Now, here's what's crazy about this. If you do the math on this, there's way more obese adults than there are children. Way more. And if we can help the adults lose 10 pounds at a time, 10 pounds at a time, 10 pounds at a time, and if you will take ownership of that, you literally can participate in ending childhood obesity. Because we'd be giving away so much product to fight childhood obesity that the numbers that you just run out of kids. You'd run out of kids to give it to. And that is our goal. Our goal is to help so many adults lose 10 pounds at a time. Can you enter more than once? Yes. If you lose 30 pounds, enter 3 times. Get 3 t-shirts. Get 3 shots at $1,000 and get 3 kids losing 10 pounds, right? So that's
Okay.
when I told you guys that we're way more than a weight loss company, we were way more than a weight loss company. We'll be the #1 company in the history of this planet to fight obesity, and through helping the adults, we can end childhood obesity inside the children. And all they need you to do is just take ownership of yourself. That's it. Just take ownership of yourself. For those of you guys that don't want to lose weight, and you heard a lot about that tonight, I understand. You're going to gain 10 pounds of muscle mass if you want to participate in Project 10. I just got done with gaining my 10 pounds of muscle mass. Hey, I didn't have any weight to lose, but I wanted to participate too, right? So I went out there and did it just like everybody else. So I want you guys to get that there's a way for everyone to participate, but we can really make a dent in the biggest problem in the world today. For those of you guys that are sitting there going, man, you didn't talk about money, you didn't talk about getting rich, you didn't thought we were going to talk about that tonight. It's because that part's easy. It really is, if you focus on the first part. If you focus on the first part, making money is easy with what we do. If you will help enough people transform their body, you will make some extra money. Woo! And not even a big number. Like, I think about this and I go, okay, if you help 6 people get a transformation kit and lose 10, 20, 30 pounds, you're going to make an extra $400 a month. You know, you're not rich, but it's an extra $400 a month. And then you start to build a team, right? You get yourself the regional director, and you get a BMW, and you're making an extra $1,500 a month, BMW in your driveway. You're not rich, but here's what that represents. Your car payment, a big chunk of your mortgage payment, and a big chunk of your grocery bill because you're getting free product. I mean, you're not rich, but how many of you guys with those 3 things change your household a little bit, right? It would change your household. Watch this. Stand up if you're qualified for the BMW already. Stand up, please, if you're qualified for the BMW. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 65 people. So 65 people in a room of 350, right? So 65 people are qualified for the BMW in this room. Guys, this isn't one day, someday, maybe you might get a pink Cadillac. I'm talking about 1 out of every 5 or 6 people in this room have qualified. Like, this is real stuff. That's a lot of people. Over 15,000 BMW qualifiers if you go transform people's bodies. Now, here's what's even crazier. If you'll get serious about transforming people's body, you'll fire your boss one day if that's something that you want to do. If you get real serious about transforming people's bodies, you make a 6-figure income out of it. Like all those people that you saw standing up here at the end. All 6-figure earners with us. If you got really serious about transforming people's bodies and fighting the obesity epidemic, you'll become what we call a Vi millionaire. And there's a bunch of them. Right? There's a bunch of them. And all of that's possible. A couple $100 a month, all the way in between, if you'll focus on fighting the obesity epidemic with us. Now, for the folks that are not following the business model, you're going, but I don't understand how. Where does the money come from? It's actually really logical. It's really easy to figure out. So in traditional marketing, the biggest expense in a traditional marketing company's budget is what? Advertising. So what they do is they take the biggest chunk of their money and they give it to celebrities to lie about something on television that they do not take to complete strangers. I want you to get all 3 of those. To lie about something that they do not take to complete strangers. So they take millions and millions and millions of dollars and they give it to Tiger Woods and Joe Montana and Michael Jordan and all these celebrities to lie about things that they do not take to complete strangers. And I know you guys are thinking like, no, Tiger would never lie to me. Not me. Let's do a little check-in real quick. How many of you guys think that Tiger still drives a Buick? Does anybody think he drives a Buick? What car do you guys think he drives? Well, what car does he drive? He drives an Escalade. I'm pretty sure of that. He wrapped it around a tree, right? It was not a Buick Regal. You know my new favorite commercial? Any basketball fans out there? So only some of you guys will know who Blake Griffin is. Blake Griffin. They got all these commercials, like him with these driving gloves, and it's like, you know what the commercial's for? Kia. Do you really think a guy who makes $10 million a year drives a Kia? Yeah. So, they're going to pay people, they're going to pay celebrities to lie on TV about something they don't use, take, or have to complete strangers. And you buy it. And it's acceptable to you. And you're cool with it. In fact, some of you guys love it. Right? Now here's what we do. Watch this. We don't spend $1 on advertising. We take all the money that would have gone into advertising and we give it to people to tell the truth about something they did use to their friends and family. Okay, so let me get this straight. Somebody who's a friend or family of mine got a result with something because they took something. And they got paid the advertising budget for telling me about it. And, you know, the skeptics in the room are like, oh, that's terrible. I mean, what's one of those things where these people, where they're getting paid stuff to talk about? Let me get this straight. Somebody you know got a result with something they actually used and told the truth about it. And you're not behind that. But somebody you don't know lies about something that they don't take on TV, and you're all about it, there's something wrong with that. There really is something wrong with that. You got some really backwards programming. And the reason why we're so successful is because our people, they use our stuff. They get results with our stuff, they tell the truth about it, they share it, and you know, we pay out a lot of money to do that. Because we don't have to pay Tiger Woods, Joe Montana, and Michael Jordan. So I'll let you make the decision. If you could decide where we spent $300 million this year, because approximately what we spent last year on people like you guys, not spent, we gave to you as commissions, $300 million last year. If you could choose where we gave away $300 million this year, how many of you would rather have it go, instead of it going to Tiger, Michael, and Wayne Gretzky, and Joe Montana, how many of you guys would rather have it go to you, your friends, and your family? Raise your hand, please. That's our business. So gang, tonight, like I said on the DVD, you're one of 3 types of people. First type of person says, hey, I like it, but I only want to get on the challenge. I don't want to promote it. I want you to know that's completely okay. You know, don't feel like you have to promote this. If you're not feeling it, don't. Just get on the challenge and set a goal, select a kit, enter to win, and if it didn't work in 90 days, send it back. You can be the second person. The second type of person says, I want to try the challenge, I want to try to get it for free. What you want to do is you want to have a little group, a little 3 for free challenge party at your house. A couple friends and family members over. We won't talk about the business, we'll only talk about the challenge. We'll help you get your stuff for free. Third type of person says, I want to take it and I want to promote it. I want to be an entrepreneur. I want to make a couple extra hundred to a couple thousand and beyond, and I want you to show me how to do that. If you are a first or a second type of person, you're going to want to grab the order form that they handed out first. It looks exactly like this. You're going to want to check a box and check a box on the top, and then hand your credit card to the person that brought you down. They'll find a swiper. They'll swipe your credit card and get your kid out ASAP. The third type of person, you're going to want to grab this one right here. You're going to want to decide how you're going to get started with us as a promoter. You're going to want to check a couple boxes at the top, hand your credit card to the person that brought you down. They'll find a swiper, and they'll get your stuff sent out right away. Third type of people only. You're going to want to go through a getting started training. I'm going to go through a getting started training. I'm going to go lightning fast because these lights are hotter than you know what. So, and we're going to break 1s and 2s, don't worry. But I'm going to go through a getting started training for the 3s, type 3s, which is going to teach you how to make $500 to $1,000 in the next 7 to 14 days. So let me show you how to do that. Everyone else who is a promoter, I strongly recommend you stick around so you can learn how to teach this or make $500 to $1,000 in the next 7 to 14 days if you haven't yet. Type 3 people, last thing. We have a regional success tour that starts this weekend. We've got 12 events going on in 3 languages all across the US and Canada and the UK. Now I know that this language hopefully is the one in English, and you guys are going to want to go to, if I remember correctly, the Des Moines, Iowa Regional Success Training, which is on the date of, thank you, June 14th. You're going to get a chance to hear from Tony and Ronald Lucero, who are $100,000 a month, not a year, $100,000 a month earners. You're going to get a chance to hear from Audrey Sommerfeld, who sits on our medical advisory board. She's going to be talking about the science of the products. You're also going to get a chance to hear from Coach Dale Brown. Coach Dale Brown is the winningest coach in SEC history. He's most famously known as Shaquille O'Neal's mentor. He's gone on to be an amazing author and speaker and inspirer, and he's going to be there to train you guys on just the mindset and the attitude you need to have to be a successful person. We're going to be teaching you guys in a full day how to make money online, through Facebook and Twitter, YouTube, offline. We're going to teach you guys everything about the products, the science, the challenge. You're going to hear hundreds and hundreds of stories. You're going to learn also everything about our compensation plan. You're going to get a chance to meet people from all across, kind of the Midwest area and the surrounding states to you. There's going to be, 1,000, 1,200 some people there, maybe more, all coming together to learn how to be successful at this. Please stand up if you are going to this, if you're going to the Iowa Regional Success Training, so I get an idea of who's going, right? You guys are going. Okay. Those of you guys who are standing, is it okay if the people who are seated ride with you? Is that okay? Thank you. Have a seat. Those of you guys that are seated, just find one of the people that are standing. Just get in their car. Sleep in their bathtub. I don't care. We're all about making it convenient for you. If you're like, well, I couldn't afford the $29 to go, I promise you, if you wanted to go bad enough, somebody here will figure out a way to get $29 for you. We want you there. We need you there, and you need to be there. So that's the event on your calendar. I want you to mark it. Is there a local success training I can give a date on for Minneapolis? May 11th. Is Forest Lake near here? Okay, quick announcement. There's a local success training, which is a 3-hour training, which is kind of your first step of the training program, May 11th. Look to these guys for details. If they don't have flyers here, you can find it online. May 11th, May 11th, May 11th. Okay, so with that, gang, I want to thank everybody for your time tonight. I'll tell you guys I appreciate you for being such a high-energy group. Love you too. Type 3 people, stick around. Promoters, stick around. We're going to take a 5-minute break, get back together, and go through the Getting Started training. Thanks for your time tonight, guys. And we'll see you in Des Moines on January 14th, I think. Bye, everybody. Or April.